It's the question that changed everything.
But, and this part is crucial, only when they're genuinely. Now let's talk about what kills reciprocity faster than anything else.
Have you noticed that some people seem to build support networks effortlessly, while others give but never seem to get back? Today, we're exploring the psychology of that. Sometimes, being genuinely useful can be more strategic than you might think.
I'm going to reinforce that. Being helpful and being strategically helpful are not the same thing. Adam Grant, who literally wrote the book on giving, divides people into 3 categories: givers, takers, and matchers. But here's what's fascinating. Givers can end up at both the top and bottom of the success ladder. The difference? The successful givers understand something crucial about how help actually works. Becky is going to help me explain this.
I joined this crazy busy office a few years ago. It was a charity and everyone seemed to be doing 10 things at once. Their busyness was contagious. I was determined to be the most helpful person. I'd volunteer for everything, offer solutions before people asked. I thought I was building goodwill. Turns out, I was mostly building resentment.
And that's the uncomfortable reality many of us face. Wait, no, scratch that. That's what many of us discover the hard way. To understand how our help lands with other people, we have to put ourselves in the other person's shoes. And here's the tricky part. People wear different shoes. Central to what we're discussing today is reciprocity, getting back in return. So what separates help that creates reciprocity from help that doesn't? There are 3 key aspects to this. First is dynamics. Over time, you get to know who you are dealing with. There's the hustlers, or takers in Adam Grant's model, people who will huff and puff in the hope you'll notice and take over. Don't expect anything back from them. The other extreme is wallflowers, those who suffer in silence. And there's a whole lot of complex human nature in between. That's what we mean by not all shoes being the same. But when you're new in town, personalities are an unknown quantity. Second is being specific. Vague offers like, let me know if you need anything, sound generous, but they're actually quite lazy. They put the burden back on the other person to figure out what you can do and then feel awkward about asking. Compare that to, I'm reviewing supplier contracts next week. I can add yours to the batch if that's useful. That's concrete. It's easy to say yes or no to. It doesn't create obligation anxiety.
I learned from this after watching our finance director, Marcus. He was super supportive, but never said happy to help. He'd say things like, I've got a template for that which might save you 3 hours. Shall I send it over? People actually took him up on offers because they knew exactly what they were getting.
The third thing that matters is timing. Ever heard someone say, I was only trying to help? I'm sure you will have. What's often taking place here is someone mistaking that person's offer to help as meddling. Help given when someone desperately needs it is worth 10 times more than help given when it's convenient for you. This means actually paying attention to what's happening around you. Robert Cialdini is a master of this. His research shows that unexpected, personalized favors create the strongest sense of obligation to return the gesture. But, and this part is crucial, only when they're genuinely useful, not self-serving. So, if you're someone whose nature is to offer help, maybe temper the urge to offer it all the time. Save it for when it's genuinely needed. Now let's talk about what kills reciprocity faster than anything else. Keeping score. Wayne Baker is a sociologist and professor based at the University of Michigan. He's an expert on social capital and networking, and his research showed that networks built on genuine generosity, not calculated exchanges, had the strongest impact. This means the moment you start mentally tallying what you've done for people versus what they've done for you, you've shifted into transactional mode, and people can sense that. They might not be able to articulate it, but they feel the difference between, I helped because I could, and I helped so you'd owe me.
We had someone in our team who'd frequently remind people what he'd done for them. Remember when I converted that report for you? Or he'd help with something and then immediately ask for a favor? It was textbook quid pro quo, and everyone avoided asking him for anything.
Here's the paradox to this. People who genuinely don't keep scores tend to receive the most help back. Why? Because they've built a reputation for being authentic. Here's one we've seen often in our careers. Many people help up, but not around or down. They'll bend over backwards for senior leaders or influential contacts, but they're too busy to help peers or junior colleagues. It's not a great trait, and it creates a reputation problem. People notice, and when you need help, the people most able to provide it are often your peers. They're in the trenches with you. They understand your challenges. They have the relevant networks.
The person who helped me most in that job was an administrator called Jenny. I helped her understand some technical aspects of our work. She helped me navigate office politics and warned me about landmines I couldn't see. That relationship was worth more than a dozen senior contacts who were too busy to really engage.
This connects to another critical point: how you receive offers for help. When someone asks you, "How can I help?" don't say, "Oh, I'm fine, thanks." Even if you are fine in that moment, you're shutting down the reciprocity loop. They offered goodwill, receive it graciously. And how you acknowledge that help is critical. Instead of a simple thanks, a little more detail can help enormously. For example, that template saved me 4 hours of formatting. Genuinely grateful. That leaves the person feeling genuinely good about helping you, which makes them more likely to do it again. Let's address the perception problem. Some people are extraordinarily helpful, but somehow manage to irritate everyone. How does this happen? Usually, it's one of 3 things. 1. They help without being asked and then expect gratitude. Unsolicited help can feel like interference or judgment. I reorganized your filing system might sound helpful to you, but to them it says, your system was rubbish.
Oh, I definitely did this. I'd fix people's spreadsheets or rewrite their emails before forwarding them on. I thought I was being efficient. They thought I was being patronizing.
2. They help in ways that create dependency rather than capability, always doing things for people rather than showing them how. This might feel generous, but it positions you as a superior and them as incompetent. And 3. They broadcast their helpfulness. Social media is full of this. So grateful I could help company X with their project today. That's not generosity. That's personal branding dressed up as altruism. Real help is often quiet. So, what does good help actually look like in practice? Once again, we can break this into 3. Ask before assuming. But don't just ask, "Can I help?" That's still vague. Try, "How can I be most useful to you?" This forces them to articulate their real needs, not just accept whatever you're offering. But remember, specific is best. Would it help if for example, I noticed you're presenting to the board next week. Would it be useful if I shared what questions they asked me? That's offering value while respecting autonomy. Acknowledge expertise. Even if you think you know better, lead with humility. You know this area better than I do, but I wondered if this perspective might be useful. This gives people permission to accept or reject your input without feeling diminished. That's collaborative, not condescending. Follow through without fuss. If you said you'd send that contract, send it. If you offered to review something, review it properly. Nothing destroys trust faster than half-hearted help, or help that never materializes.
The shift for me was asking, would this be helpful, before jumping in? It's the question that changed everything. Sometimes people said no and saved us both time. Whenever they said yes, they actually valued what I did.
Finally, let's talk about the long game. Building reciprocal relationships isn't a quarterly strategy, it's a career-long practice. The most valuable professional relationships are the ones where help flows naturally in both directions over years. You help them land a client in 2024, they introduce you to a collaborator in 2026, you provide feedback on their pitch in 2028, there's no balance sheet because there's no transaction.
3 years after leaving that job, I still have coffee with Jenny every few months. We still help each other. She's now in a completely different industry, but our networks overlap in unexpected ways. That started because I took time to explain technical concepts when she asked, and she warned me about political dynamics I'd have walked straight into.
This is the compound interest of generosity. Each genuine act of help doesn't just create one reciprocal relationship, it builds your reputation, which creates opportunities you can't predict. But only if it's real, only if you genuinely care about being useful rather than being seen to be useful. People have an excellent radar for the difference.
So there we have it, help that actually helps. Tomorrow is Tactical Tuesday and we're exploring a biggie, the salary negotiation conversation. We could all use that help right now.